And you gonna get off his corners? You gonna leave his people be? Or you the one that's gonna find yourself a new plug?
You don't mean that shit?
The fuck I don't. I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just cause you don't like the way another nigga talk. Drive, motherfucker!
Where are we gonna go? Why is the world so cold? Will the Lord take my soul? Who's really in control? Will the truth ever be told? Nobody really knows.
What up, everybody, and welcome to the PDXDOPE Live Podcast, Tuesday Turn Up, and I'm your host, Ray Nelson Jr., aka Double R. And we're going to go ahead and get right to it. I want to introduce to you my man, Jermaine Mason in the building. What's cracking with you? Uh-oh. Oh, there you go. What's happening? Had a little blackout right there. You on?
It's all up. It's all up.
All right. You ready to get it in?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. Got some good topics today, though. We'll go ahead and get the rest of the panel popping. Got my man on day one from this whole podcasting journey and radio shows and all that. He's been with me the whole way. My man Elijah Jackson, Jax in the building. What's up, brother? Man, you got it. Tuesday Turn Up. All right, but check this out. Last but not least, we got the man, the meme king, Mr. Renald Tage in the building. What's up with you, brother? Oh, he's confused. What's happening, Renald?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey.
Happy Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what's going on? Can you guys hear me okay? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right.
Yeah, internet's kind of choppy over here for some reason, but hey, happy Tuesday.
Nigga got low bands, bro. Man, happy Tuesday, man. How's the week going for everybody? Is this a different week, or you just this new year? I mean, you just rolling like ain't nothing ever changed.
I mean, we got to roll like nothing ever changed. I think that 3-day weekend kind of put me in a mode of where, man, I was ready to get back to work. I mean, talking to you last week about certain things that your job, you implementing your job and how you guys run stuff. So, man, I really couldn't wait to get to work today, man, to talk to my peoples and kind of like tip on that, man. So, we get some good things together, man. So I appreciate that.
That's what's up. I'm gonna always share the game if I can give it, if it means something to somebody. That's for sure, man. But I got a couple topics to talk about. We're gonna do what we do like we always do. It's just the same old thing, just a little bit different. We're gonna go ahead and talk about what we got on here, man. We got some interesting stuff though. So, all right. So you heard about Darius Miles, not Darius Miles that used to play for the Portland Trail Blazers, but Darius Miles, who was a college basketball player, who ended up having a situation with his old lady, ended up shooting her. Well, maybe he didn't do it, but I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to play that story first, so let me go ahead and turn this music down. Let's get to it. Yeah. Where is we? Oh, there we go. Wait a minute. Hold up. Let me rewind, man. First of all, happy Martin Luther King Day. I want to say that first. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking right now. Martin Luther King, you know what I mean? He's a very important person to Black people. He's done a lot of things, even sacrificing his life, being murdered for the movement for equality, for freedom, for access, for Black people. So I want to honor him. And I'm going to start off with these stories because this is what kind of troubled me, that on a day where we're celebrating somebody who was about being together as people, whatever your color, race and all of that. We had a couple of situations, one in Philadelphia and one in Florida, right, where you had shootings happen at celebration or rallies. All right. In this day and age, and of all things, at this time, for something like that to happen is ridiculous. And maybe I need to excuse me. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and play this first story for us here. These niggas is extremely quiet. Share the screen. Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
And Philadelphia crime becoming a massive problem for business owners. One gas station owner now hiring armed private security. Look at those agents right there to protect his business because it's been repeatedly ransacked by criminals.
We are tired from this all nonsense.
You don't want to buy me as a long Ethernet cord so I could connect it all.
Hanging around all gangs.
Oh, it's the downstairs.
They're forcing us to hire the security, high level security, state level. I am fear for my safety of my employee as well as my nice neighborhood, all customer.
Pennsylvania Site Security State Agent Chief Andre Boyer is one of the agents protecting the gas station and joins me now. Chief,
I don't know what the fuck's going on with this shit.
Just like that one, 52% increase in commercial.
You should be really thanking Mr. Patel.
Any crimes since you've been there?
And all security, at least have 2 people stand at each.
Yeah, that's not it. Anyway, we're gonna stop sharing that. I don't understand what happened there, but that's definitely not the story. Let me see. Okay. All right, I got it, fellas. There we go.
At noon, an MLK Day celebration right here in Florida ending in a mass shooting.
At least 8 people were shot during the event in Fort Pierce, and we just learned 1 person has died. Local 10 News reporter Syra Onward joins us live from Fort Pierce.
She has new details just into the newsroom. Syra.
It all happened here. This was a day meant to commemorate Dr. Martin Luther King's nonviolent action for social justice, but this night just spun into the exact opposite of that. Chaos, violence, unrest, and now a murder.
I'm here to sadly report that one of those victims died this morning at Longwood Hospital. She's a 30-year-old Fort Pierce native who was at the party with her 6-year-old daughter. And now what was a shooting investigation has turned into a murder investigation.
The sound of gunshots in the distance. In a panic, people run to safety.
About 5:20, shots rang out. Multiple shots in the midst of this this celebration. during that time, multiple people were shot.
It happened Monday evening at Ellis Park in Fort Pierce. Deputies say more than 1,000 people were at the Streets on Lock car and bike show when someone started shooting.
The first 2 shots were bang, bang, but then it started getting multiple shots. And there about 1,500 people started running. I have witnessed 2 people got shot.
The St. Lucie County Chief Deputy calling the aftermath of the shooting mass chaos.
People laying behind cars, laying behind anything they could lay behind. It was kind of hard to tell who was a victim and who was just hiding at that point.
Several shooting victims now recovering at Lawnwood Regional Medical Center in Fort Pierce. At least one of them suffered critical injuries and died this morning in the hospital. In this video, you see groups of people gathered at the hospital last night waiting for updates on their loved ones. And we do know that the woman who was killed, who died in the hospital this morning, 30 years old, shot in front of her 6-year-old daughter. Authorities have not yet identified that victim. As far as the suspects, deputies say that they have information that follows that 2 rival gangs were in an argument, and that is when this shootout ensued. Again, 8 people were shot. That woman was killed. None of their identities have been released yet, but we'll let you know as we get those updates in. But that is the very latest live here in Fort Pierce. Syra Onwar, Local 10 News.
Syra, thank you.
Wowzers.
Man, that's crazy, man. I think that
8 people shot.
I think we have to look at it as let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
Do you get nervous when you're around 500 black people or 1,000 black people?
Do I?
Yeah.
I'm always on it. I mean, you know, I got my head on a swivel. I've been in situations like that before. But
I'm just saying, with a large group of just black people gathering, do you ever like, how do you feel? Do you feel safe?
I
mean, let's be honest too.
I mean, it depends on the type of event it is, though.
Well,
really,
we're not talking about a wedding.
You're talking about a hip hop event. Let's put something on there. If it's a hip hop event, then no.
Event or a club event, or
I never did though. I've always moved the same way. I've always felt uncomfortable in those environments.
What about
because
you,
I've always felt like something could happen to you. It's
You on Jax? You on mute?
My bad. That's weird. That's a good question. Yeah, I'm on. Yeah, like I guess it depends. Like you said, on the. Like if it's like one of them type of environments where it depends on the crowd, I guess.
Well, like I said, we're not at no wedding.
I get you.
We talking about the barbecue. We talking about the skating ring. We talking about the club. I mean,
well, see, like the club, I don't really play those anyway. But like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you are an artist, so
yeah. I mean, I've been there. Yeah, I mean, I'm on high alert for show. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's where I feel most at home. If that makes sense. Like, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, and I know I'm gonna sound crazy, but it's my truth. Anywhere I go, whether it be in the States or out the States, I want to go to the turf. Like that, that's just what I want. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not at all kind of crazy hours at night. I'm not in on niggas' projects at 2 a.m. just hanging out. But at the same time, when I go to your state, I want to hit the hood. Like, that's what I want to do. Like,
okay, I do that when I go to anywhere that I go. I do that.
Well,
I definitely do that. But I don't. But see, I don't. I don't congregate. I might meet a couple fellas or people from the hood or whatever per se, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not looking at, I'm just trying to see what's what, you know what I mean? But I'm on the sideline. I ain't trying to get in the mix with none of these people or nothing like
part,
that.
like,
You know what
I
I'm
want to
saying?
maneuver through the people, but I'm not trying to congregate nowhere where it's just a bunch of this. Yeah,
I don't want no you with them or you with the wrong. I don't want to be a victim of that, but I don't go searching to be in those environments, man, unless I'm performing or something. And even then, I'll stay in the ride until it's time to go on.
But you see, he down there got a 2-seater and stuff always in my front seat. Like, you see how I mean, that's just how that be.
Right.
I mean, it's just sad that, it almost looks like, man, and this is a nationwide thing, when a group of us get together, it always ends in something tragic, man. Somebody getting hurt, you know what I mean? And it's always the innocent person that always get hurt and killed.
They don't got nothing to do with the shit, bro. And that's what's real fucked up about this situation here.
And it's sad because, imagery is everything, but if this is what we're showing the world of who we are, we can't be mad at if they look at us that way either. I mean look at the but the little girl though, and her being with her mother at 6 years old. I remember being 6 years old, right? With my old ass, and it's like, bro, that's gonna be with her, man, forever, bro. You know what I mean? And right in front of her,
right in front of her, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, her husband, or whatever, who knows, bro? Like, the family. I mean, just at an event, like and see, so Jermaine, to what I was saying, it depends on the type of environment. I would had assumed that in that environment at a Martin Luther King celebration or party, or that's publicly, that would be somewhat off limits. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would assume that. Well, I would be a fool to assume that, but I would think, and I guess I am still assuming that black people would have some kind of code that we're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying, or whatever, conflict. But that's not realistic. You know what I'm saying?
When I mean environment, like, it depends on, like, I would love to go to, like, certain black events, like, say for instance, a homecoming game or something, at certain black events, and see all the black people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If we talking about a bunch of people up at the park and there's blunts and alcohol and all that kind of shit, absolutely not. Like,
because that's a bad mix. That's a bad mix.
Me, even now, when I go to the hood, even in the city, like, if you want to, you know what I'm saying? When soon as I see the half gallons come out, you know what I'm saying? I see that motherfucker get about halfway down. That's my cue.
Right.
I'm out of there. Soon as I see niggas' cups get too full, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? I always hear about what happened afterwards because I know my cue.
Right. So it's sad that, us as a people, we can't even trust each other. You know what I mean? We can't even trust each other to go somewhere and have a good time because, I mean, we know the danger, what can possibly happen. And, who we going to blame this on?
So, okay.
Is it somebody else's? Is it the white man's fault this time?
I mean,
is it the system this time? Is it the system this time that's why we doing this to each other on Martin?
Well, the conversation, the conversation is always going to turn back to white supremacy and systemic racism. It's going to always go back there. That's just how that works. So listen. So there was 2 shot dead and several injured, including a 12-year-old in Philadelphia on MLK Day. Police say. So this wasn't I don't think this was necessarily a rally or anything like that, but it's just the fact that, but like what I was alluding to, if it's MLK Day, it's like we should have some kind of code where we ain't finna know, we're gonna put the guns down, we ain't finna do nothing, you know what I mean? Just like that. But anyway, so it says 2 were killed and several more injured, including a 12-year-old boy, by shootings in Philadelphia on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Police responded to 4 different shootings that ravaged the city within a 3-hour span, 2 of which led to deaths. So, they getting down out there in Philly, but I mean, we getting down out here in Portland too. So
there is no code. You know, there's either the have and the have-nots. And if you want to hang with the have-nots, that's what you're gonna get.
Man. Yeah, that's terrible. Well, anyway, so we're gonna move right along on that topic right there. Well, anyway, the last words on that is that, you know, you would think on MLK Day that would, you know, that we would kind of like stop the violence or whatever, but maybe that's something we should try to think about or whatever, you know, when it comes to celebrations like this and honoring, you know, people who would be rolling over in their motherfucking graves if they was alive to see what this world, you know, what we've come to. You know what I'm saying? Because this is, you know, we're at our worst. You know, I mean, I'm just gonna say at our worst, but just this society in America in itself, just the violence, you know, and this is just everybody. This just ain't a black thing, you know. It's you know, we in the mix too, but I'm saying everybody's in the mix, but just how it is in the streets.
We shooting up funerals. We fighting at funerals.
Mm-hmm.
People fighting at Popeyes. People fighting at kids' games. People fighting at Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, we see
McDonald's,
nigga. We see it all the time, and it's always us, man. A lot of times.
And what them kids say, they say, "World Star." You know what I mean? And they pull out their phones. Ain't nobody trying to break it up. And back in the days, you know, somebody was gonna step in, but nowadays motherfuckers pulling their phones out, you know, and if you was getting on the wrong end of an ass whooping, you was hoping that somebody gonna come in and break this shit up or be like, that's enough if you get your ass whooped. Nah, they got you they got you covered on the video. You finna go viral, nigga, getting your motherfucking ass stomped out.
Nigga, you over there watching, nigga, you gonna get your ass whooped too, nigga. What you doing? What you doing watching and filming? What you trying to do?
Well, what happens now is the person that get their ass whooped, they go viral, but now they got to go kill you because millions of motherfuckers they gonna chime in about it like it's back in the day. If a nigga got into a fight at school, he might have got beat up. It went around the school for a couple days, and that's about it, or around the neighborhood or whatever. Now you got motherfuckers from all out the country and shit, you know what I'm saying, seeing the videos with comments. So after enough motherfuckers chime in, now you amped up. You got to go do something to this motherfucker.
Man, they can push rewind and play, rewind and play, rewind and play. Yeah, it ain't.
You got stars, you got big time entertainers, nigga, commenting and reposting your shit. You know what I'm saying, and everything, bro. You know, that's terrible. Terrible. Shit, no, man. Like, it's, you know, it's a wild world out here today, man. It's a wild world.
And in a cool situation, I tell you that it definitely gets somebody knocked off. You know what I'm saying? Some shit that may you know what I'm saying, just died down. It ain't gonna die down now. Not in the camera phone phase age. I mean,
no, your pride getting away. Once that pride hit, it's a wrap.
Hey man, once that video get out there, bro, you ready to kill everybody. Man,
anybody that got a comment or anybody anything, you know, you on go with everybody. Right. So
because everybody got an opinion now, you know. So once you have an opinion on something, you put yourself in it, so to speak.
Right.
You know, because, you know, stars get offended too when they, you know, I had a conversation, I got into it with Malcolm Jamal Warner on Instagram. You know, and he had made a comment, or he was talking about something, and it was during the election or whatever, and he made some comment about Biden or whatever. You know, he's a lefty, whatever. And I was like, man, nobody need to be listening to you stars, nigga. You niggas is still on the plantation or some shit. I said to him, crazy. I thought, I really just went at him, right? So, nigga, I goes back to work, bro. And so I'm about to take lunch, nigga. I look at my phone, nigga. This nigga DMs me, bro. I'm like, oh, okay. We gonna see how far you are.
Look, I deserve your time today, huh?
Listen, bro. Listen, my nigga. I put this on everything. So me and him, you know, he hits me back. You know, he was smooth with it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, but it was long though. You know, like, because my shit was kind of long too though. So then I was like, you know, because he was touched that I said that to him, right? And so he was like, and I said, all right, my bad, bro. I shouldn't have probably came at you like that, whatever. But I still don't, you know, what I stand on what I said, though, in terms of we don't need to be listening to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers with money, you know, or people like that, you know, and how I think it was about his tax breaks or whatever, and who it was going to affect or whatever, and this and that. And so anyway, long story short, the conversation became cool, and we was, you know, had a cool conversation after that, you know what I'm saying, back and forth and shit. So but I remember, though, just him being who he is. That's Theo from, you know, the Cosby fucking show. I'm making a comment, I'm trolling, really just trolling, and I say some shit that he touching, that nigga DM me, bro, like, nah, hold on, homie, what's up, you know what I'm saying, like, boom, boom, and I went back and forth with him, you know what I mean. It was real interesting, though. It was cool, though. He's a cool cat. He was like, you know, and then I was saying some other shit. He's like, you know, me and my wife was just talking about, you know, so then we was like kind of like homeboys at the end of the conversation, though. But I got at him, though. I was like, what you worried about me for, bro? Like, I'm just, you know, I just said some shit, but it hit a nerve with that nigga, though, bro. It was hilarious. Yeah, but I was like, when I seen the DM, though, bro, I was like, oh shit, like this nigga actually responded. I wouldn't expect this nigga to say nothing. It was funny as fuck, bro. I mean, low key, it kind of spooked me, nigga, because I would, you know, you never expect, you know, when you comment on 50 Cent posts or some shit like that, that the niggas will ever say anything. Because I didn't say some cold shit on game shit, though, and he would never say nothing. Shit.
He probably ain't looking at all this stuff. He probably got something to do with
working his. Yeah. So you got let me see about this dude, this cat right here.
I see Tage's internet ain't working well.
No, he out. Yeah, I was just looking at that.
Story.
Yeah, because I thought I just pulled it, but I guess I didn't.
You need to go to T-Mobile, man, and get one of them $50 Wi-Fi things, man. Hit it up.
Signed up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's nothing, man. It's $50, man.
Shit, man. I mean, I got the one I paid like $100 for mine, but it's not $100. It's because I got a phone line. It's like $60. Yeah. It's cool too, though. Where's Darius Miles' story at? Okay, there we go. I probably got too many tabs open. I gotta learn how to work my two screens. Reset up my shit.
I swear, I love you more than you imagine.
We're learning more about the two local men arrested in connection to a fatal shooting near the University of Alabama.
One of the suspects is also a former University of Alabama basketball player. Stephanie Ramirez is live in Northeast with more details. Stephanie, what have you learned?
T-shirt Rob, so the university player, we're told, is one of two men originally from the greater D.C. area arrested and charged in the murder of a 23-year-old woman. This was in Alabama this past weekend. That University of Alabama player, he's been identified as Darius Miles. Now, we are still waiting for D.C. Public Schools to confirm this, but it says online that at one point he played basketball at Theodore Roosevelt High School behind us here in Northwest D.C. And also before playing for the university. But I want you to listen to this as well.
I swear, I love you more than you imagine.
That was a tearful Darius Miles getting arrested. 21-year-old Miles of D.C. and 20-year-old Michael Davis of Charles County, Maryland are facing capital murder charges. Online, it says capital murder can carry a life or death sentence in the state of Alabama. Tuscaloosa Police Chief Jack Kennedy told reporters that around 1:45 Sunday morning, Alabama University police were dispatched to an area by the school's stadium for a female passenger shot. Police said the driver, the woman was with, returned fire in self-defense, hitting one of the suspects. They have not said which, but police later arrested Miles and Davis, saying it appears the shooting stemmed from a minor argument between the two. The two groups are not believed to know one another. Now, Miles's father, David Miles, made this post to his public Facebook account earlier today, thanking people for their support. He also wrote, "I know it's a daunting task, but if anyone that is a friend of Tracy, Darius, or mine that is financially capable to be in Tuscaloosa tomorrow when we go before the judge for support, it will be greatly appreciated." The father is known in the area as a basketball coach. We did go to his home to speak with David Miles, but he declined to comment. Attorneys for Darius Miles say the 20-year-old D.C. native maintains his innocence. Alabama's head coach said today that Miles had been out for a couple of weeks during the season and back in D.C. to deal with a separate personal matter. And then just Saturday, he was ruled out for the rest of the season for an ankle injury. Then he's arrested for the fatal shooting on Sunday. Miles dismissed from the team immediately after.
Talked to Darius's mother multiple times yesterday. Very hard situation on both accounts. So, we just continue to pray for Jamia and her family, although I didn't know them, but they're certainly in our thoughts and prayers, and continuing to pray for Darius's situation too. It's just an unfortunate incident that wish we weren't having to deal with today.
As we're still trying to confirm if there is going to be a court hearing tomorrow, we also reached out to the other suspect's family. They declined to comment as well. We are told the 23-year-old killed Jamia Harris. She leaves behind a 5-year-old child. Back to you.
Stephanie, thanks so
Well, now, Jermaine.
Once again, I mean, for some reason, we just like to play with them guns, man, so much that a simple dispute over. I would like to know, like, what was the dispute over, or how it began, or what, what happened more into that. It just states that he shot. Shot at
from what I've been hearing and reading on the story, he wasn't the one that did it. It was his homeboy that did it. His homeboy came back from, came up to, town because he wasn't playing, he was out. So his homeboy came to kick it with him or whatever. And there was something going on with the girl. I don't know much about that. I'm looking at the article right now. Jax, you sent this story. Did you get any information that you want to share?
From what I didn't get any information on if he did it or not. But from what I understand, it's still from he was trying to holler at the chick or whatever. And she wouldn't try to give him the time of day. And I don't know if the dude that she was with was her dude or whatever, but you know how motherfuckers get. They can see somebody with their chick, you know what I'm saying, but they out alcohol involved, they try to impress, so they get disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So I guess when I'm trying to holler at her, she wasn't with it or whatever. An argument ensued. I imagine the dude feeling disrespected, like, see me standing here. No matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so anyhow, they were in the car when they got shot. So I don't know if they was leaving after the altercation or what. But when she got shot, They were in the car.
They said that there was at least 11 shots. It's unclear how many were fired by the suspects.
I think the video of the you don't see nobody actually firing. You just see two girls walking down the street. You just hear a bunch of shots, and then the girls start running.
Right, and so the and they say that what is that? Let's see. So looking at it says the shooter is house. Yeah. So okay, so that's what it was. Because they were shooting at them and they were shooting back.
Right.
Yeah. They were shooting back or whatever.
So who shot first?
That part.
The suspects.
So
the suspect shot first, and the dude she was with returned fire.
Right. So what I would say is that basketball player, he better go. He better tell. he better tell, because if he wasn't the one to do, I mean, yeah, he better tell. He gonna be singing tonight. Trust me. He gonna tell it all. He gonna tell I was with my partner, and I didn't have no gun, and I don't know. He felt some kind of way because the broad didn't want to get at me, and he better. He gonna say something. He gonna say something.
He don't chill. He got in the car crying and sobbing.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Of course he did, because his friend probably went off the handle.
It's like bringing your partners to your college, like I did.
You bring your thug partners to some civilized shit, and it becomes uncivilized. That's what this happens, and they be like, "We need to keep them niggas at home where they belong."
Did it for real.
It was funny, man. Growing up, Ray always used to do this shit, right? And all of us used to get mad, right? He always used to be like, "Nigga, I'm in college, nigga. I don't need to be around you niggas. You niggas is dumb." And he used to always do that shit. He used to come back every weekend. I don't even know why I'm fucking with you niggas. I need to be back in school. And niggas used to be like, "Oh, this nigga think he too good," and all this other kind of shit. But you know what? It was okay for him to really think that way, because you know what? He really was too good to be fucking with niggas that he shouldn't have been fucking with. You know what I mean?
Came up here, was fighting and shit and leaving.
Yeah, man. Ended up going to jail and doing some more shit when he was supposed to be in college. You know what I mean? So, hey, that things happen. That's why, you got to leave that hood shit in the hood, man, if you're trying to get further in life.
Man.
You got to leave them people behind, man. You can't bring everybody with you, because they going to bring that shit with you. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate now this woman lost his life. Now he gonna be on trial for capital murder.
Capital. That means there's a possibility of the death penalty.
Trust me, he done told everything. He done told everything. He done told everything. I told him not to do it. He pulled the gun out. I said, "Oh my God!" I even started running the opposite way when he started shooting.
He was in the car. He was in the car. They was
in the car, and they was in the car. Who was driving?
That's
so what's it gonna take to not make black trauma marketable?
I mean, listen, man, we love this shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what it continues to perpetuate it, because I mean, if you think about it from the shows, it's black. So that's this. What's the popular shit? You know what I'm saying?
But we do it to ourselves, though. That we love that shit. We don't.
They got a motherfucker. I think he way in the UK somewhere, and this motherfucker he done became a millionaire on YouTube off of doing videos about the war in Chicago. He knows about every killing, every op, every gang, and that's all he do is make videos about the motherfucking wars in Chicago and the killing, gang killings in Chicago, and then became a millionaire. And it's like, but that's what get the clicks. That's what, you know what I'm saying? It's like
the Cosby Show, A Different World. Them shows ain't.
It ain't marketable no more.
No, it's. I mean,
right.
The one thing about it is that as when you know, everything shifted. I can kind of say like really like in the NWA days.
Oh yeah,
When everybody was,
when
when
you
you were
when you
less,
really, yeah, when you
when
look
people
back
would
at it,
want to
man.
be more outspoken and more or less be like, man, fuck them motherfuckers. You know, when you start having that mentality and that attitude, you know,
I
now
mean, even in
everybody's
hip hop, you had your Jungle Brothers and you know, and all these, you know what I'm saying? We had the X Clans and the, you know what I'm
right,
saying? All, you know what
right.
I'm saying? But like now, like that shit ain't moving the needle. I mean, they may have their own little small following, but for shit that's moving the needle, you know what I'm saying? I mean, look at the love in hip hop, look at the bad girls, look at all this shit. And it be, I mean, look at Blueface and Krishan.
Right.
They popping like a motherfucker.
I mean,
And all
but
they
it's
do is get drunk and sock each other up. Like, but that's you know what I'm saying? So being that there was a time of the Cosby shows and a more conscious era in hip hop and narrative being pushed, how do you get back
Revisit
to
that or get
yeah?
back to that. I think that you come up with content that reflects that, but just it has to be good stuff, you know.
But it exists and it always. I mean, there's like you Toby the Wigways, like he's fucking dope. Like I mean, there are
Mhm.
artists out there that's the movie. I mean, in every video he's in there with his wife. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He pushing positivity, eating good. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
A
Right. I know
healthy
you're talking about.
marriage. All,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I mean, a motherfucker might look at the video or click on one of his shorts and be like, yeah, he dope. But I mean, it ain't like the masses are behind him like that. You see what I'm saying? He might got his following to where he's doing all right, but
But what
I
I'm
think
saying is though, but that's you got to start somewhere. I think
right,
that's enough. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like it's gonna be up to corporations and stuff and what they want to push.
uh,
So if we
but
buying that, you know what I mean? You know, I mean it's not no easy thing, bro. You know, I mean, it's gonna always be it's gonna always be pain. You know, so it's always gonna be room for that. You know, but it's about do we want to lead with that?
I
You
mean,
know.
we
I mean,
have
I
enough.
keep the
We have
go ahead.
enough writers and producers out there. I mean, you got 50 Cent, man. You got Tyler Perry. You got a lot of great dope, man. Executive producers that's out there that can really push the needle on whatever they want to push it on. And you know, if that's what they're putting out, I mean, Tyler Perry, he got his own studio, man. He can create, you know, any kind of content that is positive for black men and for black women. And you know, look at what he chooses to put out. You know,
Right. Right.
it's always about, you know, man bashing and women empowerment and the there ain't no strong man and he's either gay or you know he's just a habitual cheater or you know what I mean, like he ain't no stand-up dude or you know and the women are always the victim and you know so those are the type of things that I mean you got Oprah, she does the same thing, so you have to look at you know the people that are in the forefront, what are they pushing out, you know, and those people are the people that can actually
Because
change.
those and those
But they
stories
can
have been
only push
hits.
what you consume, what you choose to consume.
Listen,
If you know
man.
what I'm saying. And I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I'm not saying here and playing holier than thou, but at the same time, I'm cognizant of the situation.
Right.
I mean, look at all the top shows. I mean, your Powers, the
Yeah.
Shies. I mean,
Yeah.
all these. I mean, they do depict shit that happens in our culture, but I mean, at the same time, it's a lot of it focuses on the trauma aspect of it. You see what I'm saying? Versus the uplifting aspect. And as long as we consume that shit and make them #1 shows and ratings and the BMFs and all this shit, then at the end of the day, this shit is a business. And
Well,
so, I
we
mean,
don't
if
care.
that,
We don't
go
care
ahead.
about our image. We don't care about our image no more. So, you know, our people don't understand your image is everything, man. How you view yourself and how you look at yourself. And then you have to look at how the world looks at you, how the world views you. If you want to be seen in a different light, then you need to present yourself in a different way. And unfortunately, you know, we rather present ourselves as, you know, animals, people that's willing to go in there and shoot them up, bang, bang, and don't give a fuck. And that's the image that we want to portray to people. If you come our way, don't fuck with me. I'm a fuck. You know, like
But you would
that's
think.
what.
I mean, it's so crazy though, bro. Just listening to that, to think that our parents' generation, they didn't have any of that.
Right.
You understand? Like,
They had, because
you
they
have
had,
you
they
had
had
you
God
know
in their life. They believe in
yeah.
God. They believed in a higher power. And I think that once that higher power left and people stopped believing in God and stopped, and started believing just in themselves, I think that that's where things started to change. When people start worshiping themselves instead of a higher power, I think that that's where you see, and now you see what's going on now. Nobody believes in anything. There is no standard. The standard is what you wake up and feel for that day.
Right.
So when you have that, I mean, it's a horrible cocktail, and it just perpetuates itself over and over again. So now you just have people that are out there that all they care about is, that's the negative shit. You know what I mean? Like you said, that's what's getting to play, but you have to put that positive out there to help kind of balance it out. But
who, how do we know that it's not going to be tight? Like you said, somebody said about Tyler Perry and the images or how they portray black men or whatever. I'm just saying though, if you put out good product, solid, product, that's more so for showing positive light as far as black families and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that you can't touch on trauma and things that happen, because then that wouldn't be realistic. But you have some of that, but it has to be the whole story. You know what I'm saying, about how relationships are between a man and a woman. You know what I mean, and how they get along and that dynamic. I think that's an important thing that they could touch on, and how they, and kind of how they should interact and stuff like that, so we can see images of that, and how to just even deal with each other, shit
absolutely.
like that.
But
I
it's
think
easier. It's easier to do the fuckery. It doesn't take that much brain power to do that. That's why.
Yeah, it's always going to be there. I mean, it's always going to be there, bro. But all I'm saying is that when people when they put out, it's just like The Best Man, for instance. I use that as an example. Like that ain't got nothing to do with none of that shit.
Right.
And that shit's great to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know some people might not like it, might think it's corny or whatever, but for me, I like that type shit. Didn't have nothing to do with that. I can go back further to a motherfucking movie like Boomerang. That's right. My shit. I can watch that right now. I can go turn that shit on right now and watch that front to back, nigga. Market, stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, but seriously, you think about fucking Coming to America,
right?
You know what I'm saying? They were raunchy, you know what I mean? But at the same time, they wasn't about all that shit or degrading, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. You know what I mean? It wasn't all negative shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It had a positive outcome, and it was a positive look, overall.
Right.
It had a positive meaning behind it.
And during those times, those were big fucking movies, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Big movies, So I just tend to think that if you give people quality, shit, and you put good, context, kind of like some of the shit I was saying, man, people will go to it. People gonna fuck with it.
I agree.
I mean, and black people especially, you know what I'm saying? We always, those movies, go see movies like that and support movies like that. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that I like about
it doesn't give it all.
What I'm saying, it's your internet now. You coming in and out.
Yeah. I'm good now.
Yeah. Oh, freeze. Music, please.
That's the it's not, you don't see that, you know what I'm saying? That's not the majority of what's pushed, is what I'm saying.
No, you're right. Yeah, no. I'm not saying, I mean, let them push what they gonna push. All I'm saying is that you still put out the other stuff.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that,
people
as far as them pushing
fuck with it.
I can't demonize them because that's what the fuck we consume. And so, I mean, shit.
Yeah. I'm just saying there's dollars out there, man, for that, though. And there's black people with money that want to see that type of shit. There's black people out there that still have some goddamn standards about their motherfucking self. They don't subscribe to none of this shit. There's a lot of them, bro. You know
Right.
what I'm
And you
saying?
have
Like, like for real, we fuck with a lot of people that's in that, but there's a whole bunch of people, man, that ain't none of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
and you have to be able to hold the people that are doing, these type of movies and writing these type of plays and things like that. You have to hold them to the fire and hold them accountable. I mean, you have these shows and things like that. You have to put the fire on them. Like, hey, man, how come you only showing this negative shit? How come you're not showing the positive side of that? You have to
I'll
balance
even
it out.
take it. Listen, I'll take it a step further. I don't even believe that, if that's all you do for your thing, then you're not really that fucking talented to me. You know what I'm saying? Your talent, I mean, you can have a hit show, something great. I'll watch the shit. I'm not saying I don't. But what I'm saying is what else can you do? You know what I'm saying? It has a whole different direction. You know what I mean? Something, I mean, or something just different. You know what I mean? Like Love Jones, for instance. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whatever. I'm just using that as an example. I mean,
Right.
but just like how that talked about relationships and stuff like that. We don't talk. I mean, we don't see that in movies as much anymore. It's
Perfect
more so.
example. Like black people fucks with that movie, but it wasn't like it got pushed to the point to where it was a fucking award-winning movie or nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's
Well, we
just
can't
like
be
black
worried
people.
about that. We can't be worried about that. What we got to worry about is our image. I think the one things that the Jewish people do is about their image. They don't play around with their image. They're not going to let you talk bad about them. They're not even going to put out bad imagery on themselves. They're not going to make themselves look like victims. They're not going to talk like they are victims or any of that kind of stuff. They will shut
Right.
your ass down. They will shut your ass down if you view them in a negative light, period. And for us as people, for some reason we want to demonstrate and we want to show people our pain and how dysfunctional that we are and let them know how the hood really is. And these other communities don't do that. They will the Japanese, the Chinese, they don't do that. Us as black people, we do that. And that's why we're looked and viewed that way. So I mean they hold their people accountable. And they will shut your shit down if you come in there talking shit about them in any kind of way, whether if you are Jewish and you want to speak bad about the Jewish community, they will shut your shit down.
Absolutely, I agree. I mean, look at Enos Skinner. Like he wanted by his whole country because he was talking shit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't put a hit on his life. Like, so I mean, I get it, but
we don't care.
Saying, like,
we don't care. That's the problem. We don't care. We don't care. And then since we don't care, other people are willing to say, okay, well, I'm going to give you some dollars to keep on pushing that shit out. So you just going to keep on pushing it out. So we don't hold ourselves to a higher standard. We just rather sell out for the dollar.
Yeah.
And it's about so like I said, there are some dope, phenomenal executive producers out there that I'm sure that they can push the needle and can do a whole lot of different things. But unfortunately for them, a lot of them are just one-trick ponies. They can only do one thing, so they just keep doing what works for them, and they don't worry about the detriment to everybody else. They only care about themselves and how it's feeding their family. So that's the problem. We don't think about the whole. We just think about the individual. And when you have people that think about individualize everything, then naturally that's what you're gonna get. A whole bunch of people that's selfish. They only think about themselves.
Yeah, that's the mentality, motherfucker. Gotta go for mine type of. Gotta get mine type of.
I'm guilty of that. I'm definitely.
I mean, no matter what, if I gotta fuck you over, if I got, whatever I got to do, what I'm saying, I'm gonna do whatever.
But
I mean, but that's the mentality of most black people. I don't care what I got to do. I'm gonna fuck you over to get what I got to get. Instead of let's work together.
Instead of let's
work together, I'm gonna get mine to fuck you.
Yep. That's an unfortunate place to be,
It is.
but
it is.
Like I said, but I'm not. I don't. But that's not everybody though, and I think there's a lot of. I think that a lot of times we talk about that group or the people that are like that, and and it's like we act like, or it sounds like we don't have no good people, or that black people ain't shit, just in general as a rule. You know what I'm saying? And that I have to catch pause with that, because I've had a lot of I'm gonna say more positive interactions with black folks, you know what I'm saying, in my lifetime. You know what I mean? Traveling all over the place and stuff like that. And I just feel like a lot of times when we start talking about these particular kind of things about black people, it's like we're putting that as that's been our representation. And it has been when you talk about imagery and what we're talking about today. But and that's why I say that if you put out good content about a strong black family and whatever it might be, something corny like that, like the Huxtables type shit, I said, but there's people out there that's gonna consume that. You know what I'm saying? And if it's a good product, they're gonna buy it, and who knows, it can blow up, do good at the box office, whatever the case may be. And like you said, never mind the wars and all that shit. We just worry about the box office, as long as it didn't lose no money. You know what I'm saying? And that's really the key. But
because you got to think about the culture. If we really thinking about the culture, as people want to say, let's push the culture forward and build, thought provoking, individuals versus, the fuckery. And unfortunately, it's the people that's on the bullshit that has the loudest voice, and the people that actually think like mindedly. A lot of times they just choose not to say nothing because they don't want to deal with the backlash. They don't want to deal with.
I mean, you can be canceled just for even having, even saying it, some of the shit that we was talking about here today.
Absolutely. And see, that's the box office is really what I meant when I meant awards. I was just saying for is making it a huge success. And I understand a success is a success. I get that, but I'm talking about amongst the number that some of these other bullshit movies do, is what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? And box office is what garners the accolades. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said award winning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I said, a lot of shit like we'll fuck with, we'll consume, but I'm saying consume to the point to where that's what moves the needle. You see what I'm saying? Because if we're consuming it to the point to where that's what moves the needle, then these people that we're talking about that's pushing this imagery that we don't agree with necessarily have no choice at that point but to move this way, because we control the dollar.
Right. And it's all about money at the end of the day.
But it's all about the studios and what they want to push and what image they want to push. Do we even got control, or do we even have control of our own image?
But they're not in the business. They're not in the business of losing money though.
No, I got you. But like I said, are we even in control of that? Because even if you have your own studios and all that type of shit, though, you got to go through a distributor who got their own distribution. You know what I'm saying? But the platforms have changed and stuff like that, though. Right, but platforms. You have different platforms and stuff, and so it's easier for you to get your shot off. But but who got the connections? You know what I'm saying?
Tyler Perry was having, them movies that he was putting out was pretty much his budget, as he said, it was a very low budget. But the black community showed up for him. So, if he put out great content, his budget don't got to be extraordinary. They even said for The Best Man, for that series, that they all got paid peanuts, but they wanted to come back and do it for the culture. And, like I said, and I feel like that was dope. Just, how, I believe that they most definitely should have got paid or whatever, but, it can be done. That can be done, you know what I mean?
Because it was produced well, because they probably didn't have the budget to pay them what they're worth. I think,
right.
And I think that's definitely dope. That whatever it was that they could pay them, they would take that and put on the performances that they did, and that shit was dope to me.
So I think that it most definitely is possible. We just have to. Some of those people just have to say, you know what, this is what we're gonna put out. But we have yet to see a movie where a strong black man, a heterosexual black man is, taking care of his family and doing the right thing. And we just I haven't seen it.
Yeah, either he's a sucker or he's a gang member, a drug addict. He's gay. You know
Oh
what I'm
man,
saying? Like,
he's everything but what he's supposed to be.
right. And
Open
that's
it.
the part.
Open it.
Yeah, that's the part though, man. And I just trip out, man. You know, it's like they just eliminate the dad. He's a piece of shit. My mom, now she got a girlfriend and shit, and she acting like a nigga. You know what I mean? How does that even work, bro? You know what I'm saying? I don't even understand
Son
that.
gay, daughter gay, and that's the world we live in. And now, you know, you gotta deal with it. You
That's
know,
like
it's
with
just like
the Shy, bro.
You know I've been watching this the whole time, right?
Oh, Tanya. Hey, Tanya, what's happening with you? She on. Man.
Been on.
Shit.
If you get notifications, so
Man, I'm telling you, bro. But that's the type of shit but I mean, I sat down and I went through that shit, bro. Like I watched a couple and then fell asleep, went back, watched. I mean, I was on that shit, bro. Like I loved all the movies and everything. Call it corny, whatever, bro. I love that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like that's one of my favorite joints.
I mean, because the way that we grew up, man, and looking at love and what it looks like and what it looks like today.
Yeah.
It don't look the same. The family don't look the same. Don't nothing look the same. You know what I mean? So
you know
that's why it's important to have these conversations.
It is because I remember I was having a conversation with Corey, Cut Corey, and he was talking about how this very thing, how the families and stuff don't look the same no more. It's like we used to always. He said when we was growing up, we always had a porch or grandma's house or something to where we could congregate at and be off the streets and together. We grew up with that, whether it was his grandma's house, my grandma's house, whatever, we had grandmas, aunties, places that we could go. A lot of times these kids don't have that no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And these, where like we could go, like even when we got older and it started getting sketchy out there, we didn't go drink a 40, at the house and be in a safe zone. You know what I'm saying? But, a lot of these kids don't have that now. You know what I mean?
Because grandma's 30.
You say what?
Grandma's 30.
No. Yeah, well, I'm saying, but but with them though, especially though, bro, because that's when the property, and then they did the thing when people came in and they bought it for dirt cheap. When they ran the fucking when the crack era came and tore everything down. You know what I'm saying? They came in. Then grandmas was dying. Grandparents were dying and stuff like that. Whether you sold the house or lost it in the foreclosure, it all changed. You know what I'm saying? And so then the children that they came through, they didn't have that structure. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get to see both grandparents. I did. You know what I'm saying? But most of my, cousins and stuff like that, the core, but they didn't. You know what I'm saying? They never saw grandmother and grandfather where it all started from. You know what I'm saying? These kids, they don't know none of that, the way we did shit. You know what I'm saying? They get a little bit of it, but I mean, shit. Once that happened, bro, no more porches, nigga. Now they out there. It's like you out there for the monster, the beast.
And you look at today's world. In today's world, if you look at it, white people are going through the same thing that we was going through, but it's even worse for them right now. Oh, it's even worse. It's even worse.
What you mean?
I promise you, it's even worse. If you go to a city near you and you look at the homeless population, I promise you 90% of them is white.
Listen, man, them motherfuckers want to be out there, bro. A lot of them.
A lot of them want to be out there, but a lot of them is fucked up on fentanyl, drugs, all kind of shit.
Oh, that part too. No, I'm talking about. If we talking about
serious about that fentanyl.
If you talk about people
hey, that's just real.
just because they just can't do it or they
that's
just
the new crack.
Man, listen, that's the gamble, nigga. You want to gamble with fentanyl, go ahead. It's like rolling dice. You know what I'm saying? You can crap out at any time, fucking around, get a bad hit, nigga, and dead fucking with fentanyl. What the fuck? That's not even.
A lot of people they prefer the fentanyl. They say it gets them higher than the normal shit. You know what I'm saying? So they prefer the synthetic fentanyl shit.
So that's what's going on.
Yeah.
So now, okay, so
Well,
that
the reference.
motherfuckers is taking a chance to get that
Yeah,
blast.
they know it. They know it's cut with the bullshit, but they like I get higher. So yeah, let's rock this way.
Yeah, instead of the cocaine, you want to do that crack. Yeah, I know. Same thing.
Oh
Same
fuck
thing.
no!
Instead of the cocaine, you want that crack. You want that.
But
You
that
want
shit
that ready
like
rock.
who that Ready Rock. Oh man. Shit. I don't. Yeah, that is such a scary thing. You know, I hear all this shit about it. If you touch it, they say it can kill you. You know, I mean, it's like I've heard some stories where they put it in the weed, or somebody was putting it in that weed and
What?
shit. Yeah, and I was like, I never heard nothing like that. How does that work? But anyway, yeah.
I don't think you want to find out.
No. Fuck no, man. I'm like, man, what you got in there, man? No, I'm cool.
I mean, you gotta be watching, man, who you smoking after, because you just don't know, man. You just don't know.
Nigga smoking Woolies, nigga. Woolies. That's the Biggie them. That's what I think I heard that them niggas used to smoke, the Woolies from New York niggas.
Yeah, the Lily.
No, they Woolies, bro. That's the blunts with the cocaine. Blunts
yeah.
with weed and cocaine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They call it Lily too.
Okay. Yeah, I forget what we call it out here. Man. Oh, what's that called? Oh my God. I have to tell y'all a story backstage, nigga. My God, nigga, I'm telling you, this is the craziest shit ever, nigga.
Move, dog.
Me, Los, and my stepdad, bro. And nigga, I'm telling you, nigga, I was ready to kill, nigga, for real. Nigga.
Oh, I ain't heard this story yet. Oh my.
Yeah, oh man, nigga, listen, bro. This shit, I mean, you gonna laugh, bro. It's funny as fuck, bro. But nigga, like, nigga, I wanted to kill my stepdad, bro. After what he said. Huh?
You talking about
Harold.
Oh my.
Yeah. My pops. Yeah, my stepdaddy. Yeah, R.I.P. man. That's my guy right there, though. But man, he played too much, bro. I was like, ooh, nigga, you almost got fucked up. I was like, oh my God, this nigga just zapped the weed, bro. And then he said, man, he was just like, that's booyah. I said, what? He's like, man, that's got the wolf in it. I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? And then I started getting nigga. I was like, nigga, I start tripping and shit like that. I was like, man, you know, I was like, man, I started tripping, and he was like, man, he said, man, you think I would do that to you, bro? And I was like, man, I'm talking about, bro, I was so fucking shook. I've never like 7-Up, never have, never will, ho. Fuck with no cocaine ever, bro. And you know, I'm just, you know, that's just not even a thought in my mind ever, bro. Like,
right.
But I know a couple of my partners, they used to fuck around, bro. But I'm like, bro. Ain't you bitching, nigga? Like, are you crazy? Like, nigga, for real, me and Los is sitting there looking at each other, bro. I was paying. Los wasn't tripping. I'm like, man, hold on, man. Like, what man, hold on, man.
Hey,
like,
man, Los's dad, man, used to be crazy.
Yeah,
you know
he was cool, man.
He was cool as hell, man, but he liked to party though.
Oh yeah. But he's big time. He's a doctor or Dr. LaGuardia now.
Right.
He's probably retired now, man. Yeah. Well, anyway, man. Yeah, no, that shit was crazy, bro. I was like shook, bro. Like, what the hell? Say, man, it was a shooting in California. You see, where 6 people got killed, bro. Let me see what we got here.
Open the door. He can come out. He can come out.
Now at 5, a 17-year-old mother and her 6-month-old baby are among 6 people killed in a shooting today It happened at a home in Central California. Authorities say they're searching for at least 2 suspects. Some of the victims were found inside the home, others in the doorway or in the street. Investigators believe there is a gang connection to the shooting.
We're able to identify those victims today and provide those to you. Many of you have already discovered who they are through social media. I would caution you, please don't be listening to factual information from social media. That is not where you will find your facts. I will keep you informed. I will make sure that you have what we have as we are able to release it to you for the integrity of the case. If you have questions, please reach out to our media services here at the Sheriff's Office. What we're able to give you, we will. One of the victims, when deputies arrived, was still alive. He immediately began CPR. Unfortunately, he died at the hospital. The victims are here. Eladio Perez, 52 years of age. Marcos Perez, 19 years of age. Jennifer Anaya, 49 years of age. Rosa Perez, 72 years of age. Alyssa Perez, 16 years of age. And Nicholas Perez, 10 months of age. I'd like to make a correction. On scene that night, we believe that the young teenage female was 17 years old. In fact, we later learned that she was 16 years old, and I believe I put out that she was 17. We also believed at the time that the infant was 6 months old. We later learned that it was 10 months old. So I want to make that correction for all of you today. She was 16 and the small infant was 10 months old. She was found, along with the infant, laying next to her mother, his mother, down the street. We believe that the 16-year-old teenage mother and her small infant actually was fleeing and running from the scene. What we have since learned through forensics, that it was clear that the shooters stood over the top of the 16-year-old mother and fired rounds into her head. The 10-month-old infant also suffered from the same attack. None of this was by accident. It was deliberate, intentional, and horrific. I will tell you this, we do know of 3 surviving victims from this, what we're describing as a massacre. 3. We will be interviewing them and collecting as much information as we can. There was one person inside the home hiding as they could hear the gunfire erupting inside the home. The description from him is that he was in such a state of fear that all he could do was hold the door, hoping that he was not the next victim. Detectives, at this point, we do believe that we are in the search for 2 known suspects, potentially a third in an escape vehicle, but we don't know that to be true. This is going off a hypothesis from law enforcement, but we do know that, in fact, we have 2 suspects. It is very clear that this family was a target and that there are gang associations involved as well as drug investigations with us in this home. But let me make this very clear. Not all these people in this home were gang members, and not all of these people in this home were drug dealers. The 16-year-old female is an innocent victim. The grandmother inside appears to be an innocent victim, and definitely this 10-month-old child is an innocent victim. I'll tell you a little bit of the history of the home. On January 3rd of this year, Tulare County Sheriff's Office patrol officers conducted what we call a parole compliance check. Basically what that is when we know people who are on felony parole and are in the community, we will stop and make sure that they're abiding by the law. This compliance check done on January 3rd is the same home where the massacre occurred on Monday. This is a known home to our department. This is where gang activity has routinely occurred in the past. During that compliance check, deputies saw shell casings laying on the ground outside the home. When asked if we could go inside and search, they refused, and that's where the search warrant was written. We obtained a legal search warrant from a judge, and we were able to do a search warrant of the home. And we found Eladio Perez, who was already on felony convictions, was in possession of ammunition, felon in possession of a firearm, felon in possession of a short-barreled rifle, felon in possession of an assault weapon, a loaded weapon in possession of a firearm, and possessions of a controlled substance. He unfortunately was able to bail out 4 days later. So law enforcement doing their due diligence in community service and protection, part of our duties is to go into these homes and try to remove guns, drugs, and that type of activity. And this home was known to us. That's how I'm able to say that this is a gang-related activity. I have also been quoted as saying this was a cartel-like execution. Make no mistake, I'm not saying that this is a cartel, but also be clear that I am not eliminating that possibility. These people were clearly shot in the head, and they were also shot in places that the shooter would know that quick death would occur. This is also similar to high-ranking gang affiliations in the style of execution that they commit. So we don't know if it is a gang-affiliated shooting, a cartel affiliation, or if the two are combined. But what we can tell you is the manner in which this has occurred is definitely one of the two, if not combined. As the investigation unravels and we're able to confirm one or the other, you will be the first to know. Detectives, as far as man hours, detectives have been working 24 hours a day. And when I say that, I don't mean they go home at midnight and get back up again at 7 in the morning. We have investigators working literally 24 hours a day. With forensic analysis and the collection of forensics, we have our crime lab, digital forensics, our coroner's office, and property and evidence. There has literally at this point been hundreds of items of evidence collected. And we expect more items of evidence to be collected. As of this press conference, detectives are still canvassing the area, looking for surveillance videos, asking for the public's help. And so here today, within this conference, I'm also asking for the public's help. Anyone in that area, if you have a business, it is an industrial area very nearby in the Goshen area, there are residences with Ring cameras, there are video all over. Between the hours of 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., we're asking you to go back, take a look at your business videos. Go back and look at your home videos. Doesn't matter how far away you were from the scene. Any video evidence that you find suspicious, please contact the Tulare County Sheriff's Office. We want to look at it. Take the time to go look at your business video and your Ring camera videos and report what you have and save what you have. I would also like to commend and thank the law enforcement community that has come out in support and offering assistance in this investigation. Behind me today, of which I received phone calls within hours, from the ATF, FBI, Homeland Security, DEA, Department of Justice, and the California Department of Corrections. Every one of them called within hours, offering resources and assistance. I have them with me today behind me. I have our investigators, our captains of investigations, but I also have those federal agencies. We are pulling out all stops. We are turning over.
Wow. That shit's fucking crazy, bro.
At what point do we denounce these gangs, man? At what point?
Wow.
At one point do we say, man, enough is enough, man. You gotta lock these niggas up. Jax, I know you know, you don't really care about, locking niggas up and, letting niggas just do them. But at what point do we just say, man, that this is just bad for our community, it's bad for our children, it's bad for everybody, and we just say enough is enough and lock these niggas up, man? When do we do that? At what point do we say enough is enough?
I don't know. I think he on mute.
Yeah, he's on mute right now, look like. But yeah, man, it's just this gang culture. It ain't shit, man. Moms is losing their daughters, their sons, and people are losing their life. Kids is losing their life. Young innocent kids is losing their life. You know,
This was deliberate though.
Right.
Like they went in and they actually just went in and they shot the baby in the head too.
Right. So at what point in time do we just say this is enough, man? We not.
They deliberately did that, bro. Like went in and wow. I mean, like that. I mean, like that's the crazy. Actually, I have this shooting video, bro. It's the craziest video you probably ever see, man. Where these dudes, I think it's in Puerto Rico or something, bro. And it's like they kill like 8 dudes, bro, and it's all on video, bro. And they gun them down. And they retreat, and they come back, and they I'm talking about, bro, it's like straight security video, bro, and they was moving like a straight army, bro, but it's straight gangs. Shit was crazy, bro. It's spooky. It's spooky.
And when you sit back and you look at it, and it's like, okay, well, you know, on all these media platforms that we have out there, you know, these Facebooks, these Instagram, these YouTubes, they're supposed to be, you know, monetizing or making sure that you know, you're not seeing these things. But
yeah, no, I played it on the show actually one time. They yeah.
But where'd you get it from though?
Oh, I got it off the dark web.
Okay.
Okay.
Because a lot of these videos, I mean, I'm able to see, you know, on my, you know, I don't even have Instagram. But it's
you don't need Instagram, man. You can go to man. Listen, bro, it's not that hard.
Right, but that's my thing. Like, I see things on Facebook. I'll be looking at. I'm like, how are they showing this?
But see, it's like different country videos and stuff is what I'll be looking at.
Man, how are they showing this? How are we able to look at this?
Nigga, I'm talking about, bro. It's some of the worst shit. Like I see, like some Jamaican shit.
Yeah, I don't be want to see that.
Listen, bro, like I'm talking about, like, bro, they show everything, like the murders and dead bodies and all that shit, bro.
Yeah, I don't that kind of stuff. I just be looking like, why are they even showing this stuff? Like, why are you even allowed to even watch this?
Right.
Because motherfuckers trying to entertain him.
It's not, but you know, they'll say that, but you say something wrong about a certain community, and you know, you get your shit banned, or it's a cold game out there they playing.
Right. Well, I don't know, but that shit that I just heard that dude saying, like you know, this is like so it's in California too, and the cool thing about it, you know, California don't got no death penalty, so they just finna do life, no matter how you wanna.
They need to start having death penalty. Jax, you on now?
Yeah, man.
So what? At what point do we just denounce these gangs, man? Let's just start locking these niggas up. When do we start doing that? I know you're not a high advocate of locking people up, man, but at what point? At what point, man? Do we just say, man, innocent children, man, and mothers is getting killed and executed, man, in the love of these gangs, man? Like, at what point do we just say, hey, man, let's lock these niggas up and take back our streets? Because you got to think, you got a young daughter and you got a young son too. So you just have to think about, okay, well, what kind of community they gonna be living in, and they gonna be living in that crazy world too.
Absolutely. I mean, I hear what you're saying. It's just I don't push for it, but at the same time, I mean, I realize that, you know what I'm saying. I realize the necessity of it. So I mean, you know, if somebody, I definitely ain't gonna be that person that my cousin just went and shot 4 motherfucking innocent people, and you finna see me with a Free Him t-shirt on. Like, I'm just not rocking like that. Like, no, like, he killed 4 people. Like, he in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying I'm not gonna love him, but at the same time, like, you did what you did, like, and they got places for motherfuckers like you. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely can acknowledge that. And I mean, it's definitely people that perpetuate shit to where that's the place where that's what it's supposed to be for. Absolutely.
I mean, don't nothing positive come out of gangs. Nothing.
Yeah.
Not one thing. Not one thing positive come out of gangs. You know, for people to sit up there and rep gangs and act like it's cool and C walk and B walking, bro, it's nothing is cool about it, man, because we all know where it's gonna lead to. We done all seen it. We done all lived it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I already told my kids, especially my son, like, you know what I'm saying? I'll fuck you up before I let a gang do it. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying? If you're gonna let them put you on, let me put you on first.
But you know, when people live in neighborhoods and you're sending your kids to schools where, you know, gangs is prevalent, or, you know, there's a high possibility that, you know, your kids is gonna have some friends that's gang members and into those type of lifestyles, you know, it's easily could be your son or your daughter getting caught up in the aftermath of something that wasn't even meant for them.
Right.
You know, so, you know, people don't think about that either. It's just, you know, you could just be guilty by association, or you just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, environment, absolutely. I mean, shit.
You know, trying to keep it real and trying to, you know, be around all the black people and, I want my kids to go to school over here. Or I want them to be around black people. I want them to have some kind of backbone or something like that. And, you know, what ends up happening is your kid ends up getting fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, beyond repair. You know, so, you know, I don't think that people take that into accountability. I think that, you know, especially
like you said, we gotta start having accountability to make those places to be around black people safe havens. You know what I'm saying? To where it is okay to have your kid go to school where it's a bunch of black people, or where it's you know what I'm saying, the so-called, you know what I'm saying? But we like you said, the accountability factor has to be there to make it safe for that to happen.
I mean, I think as long as you're around ignorant people and as long as you're around poverty, it's always going to be, and people that are not, I would say not really poverty. I would say if you are around people that are not morally sound, because you know, honestly, you know, our grandparents, they wasn't rich. You know, I think they were morally sound and they believed in a higher power and they believed that they can work through anything versus grabbing a gun and going out and doing things that way. So I don't think, you know, I can't say that the poor, you know, or not having lack of resources, you know, makes you be that way, because, my grandparents, when they came here, you know, they was living in a house with 2-3 different families and, you know, and everything else. And they gritted and grinded it out, you know, till they had their own, you know.
Right.
So I don't think it's a poverty thing. I think it's more or less of a moral thing than anything else. Because you cannot have much and not still feel like you still have to steal from your brother or your sister, or be conniving and, you know, go rob and rape somebody, you know, and take from somebody.
But that's because that kind of shit is celebrated. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers continue to do it, because, I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, like, especially in the entertainment world, especially in the hip hop world, how many motherfuckers with no talent is at the forefront of the industry just because they went to prison, so then they got a hood stripe or you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that shit celebrated. It's like, okay, now this motherfucker done went to jail. Oh, now they real, so now I want to go buy. I'm dying to buy the album. I ain't listening to shit they had before, but now they're certified or they stamped. So
that's in our community. That's only. I mean, that's really only in our community, man. We celebrate mediocrity. You know, it's the person that gets home from jail, man. That gets the coming home party and everybody celebrating and happy that he's coming home from jail from doing
because
his
he's
long
certified.
day.
You know what I'm saying? He's stamped.
You know, but what does that really mean? But the kid that graduates from college, or, you know, gets his degree, or the kid that graduates from high school that had all the odds against them, you know, we don't praise them. You know, we praising the. It's just, you know, our community is just all the way backwards. We celebrating all the wrong things. That's why most of our our culture that we have is trash. It's just trash. If you break it down, I mean, Ray, I mean, like, niggas was lucky. I mean, extremely lucky to see these years that we seeing right now. I mean, I can name numerous of times where, I couldn't have made it. So
that's kind of, man. Nah, bro. That's interesting because, when you go through shit and experience stuff, man, it's gonna change your mind about shit, man. And I was pretty solid with that shit whenever shit ever happened to me, in that game or whatever, bro. And I move so different now, in terms of just my regular business shit that's kept me out of trouble.
Right.
And I'm like, not having a whole lot of motherfuckers around me, you know what I'm saying? Taking my motherfucking ass to work, you know what I'm saying, and getting my paper, man, not even, coming home, doing my little square shit, nigga, go and work out, do what I do, bro, and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? But
hey, man,
as far as
the square life is the good life, man. It's the good life. Believe that.
Stay in the box, I mean, not to say that I didn't kick it with people and shit. I have my times, where I go here and there, and shit like that, and fuck with certain people. But even that, I don't do, nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for no goddamn body. You know what I'm saying? It's really, I like, fucking with my people, my family type shit, and that's it. But it's getting out and being in the mix and. And what's at this party and this gathering and they got this going on, they doing this. Nah, man, I'm cool, bro.
We done seen too much. We done been, man, I done been to parties, I done been to after parties where I done seen people get their brains blown out right in front of a nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I done seen that happen too many times, man. And it's like, after a while, you just know better. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you want to keep going to strip clubs, or you want to keep going over to this after party, or you just want to keep going. Okay, well, you know what's gonna happen, right? Because we done all seen it happen year after year after year.
Listen, I don't got no time for it though. I just rather. I mean, I like being able to do what I want to do. If I go out, it'd be like a bar. Like a hole in the wall, not no loud goddamn music playing and shit going on. I don't like none of that. You know what I'm saying? I got where I can see around, I can hear people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll go to shit like that, but. I'm not really into going into too many rowdy type situations, man.
I mean, it's about being around people that value life. Now, if you around people that value life and people that have money, those people are out happier than the people that don't. If you're around people that, man, I'm just telling you, man, if you're around people that have money, man, they only looking to have a good time, man. They only looking to celebrate. They gonna, hey man, if you ain't got nothing, don't worry about it, man. I got you. You know what I mean? We just want to have a good time. We just want to kick it. We ain't worried about nothing. You know what I'm saying? But if you're around people with low vibrations, man, and is struggling and starving, man, and they go out, with the sole purpose of I wish a motherfucker would, then what you know what I mean? What you think gonna happen? At the end of the night, somebody gonna get hurt. So it's just about just being mindful about your surroundings and who you want to be and who you want to be around, man. I just want to be around people.
Yeah, no. I like can't nobody just say, hey man, come over here with me when it's it's a problem. Like how we used to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Oh, these niggas, they over there, but we over here. Meet me up here, nigga. These niggas is up here. Just to be bugging niggas and running. Like, nah, like, yeah, like, what's up? Just go jump into the shark water, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, no.
Yeah, that's when your ego, man, your pride take over, and you got something to prove.
I mean, it's called evolving, man, whatever. But you'd be stupid, like I said, a person like myself, considering everything that's happened around me and to me, in the last 25 years, I would be a fool, you know what I'm saying, to do any of that shit, in that manner, and that's not just hanging out in those environments. It's just being around people, certain people, limited, making sure, doing what I do and making sure that what I do is important first versus, oh, giving myself to this thing, or whatever, this whole little idea of a gang or whatever the fuck, a nigga want to calling it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be the one protecting me. You know what I mean?
Like you said, it's about just being around like-minded motherfuckers. That's how I had to start checking myself, because I love to go to the hood shit, but I was starting to ask myself, like, besides smoking this little tree or something, or something, like, what do me and this motherfucker really got in common? Where after the weed on the bonding is over, like, what do we can't even get healthy conversation from each other, like. So I'm like, yeah, like, why am I here?
Everybody, listen, man, we live in Oregon. Everybody like weed, man. White people like weed. Asian people like weed. Like, you know what I mean? You can mix that shit up a little bit, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's universal now. You know what I mean? So like I said, it's just all about, man, just having a good time, man, and making it home safe. I mean, that's the most important thing. Make it home to your loved ones, man. So, put yourself in some great environments, man, where you can actually thrive. You might actually meet some cool and dope people that can actually help you prosper, or help you get somewhere in life. That you might build some new relationships, and somebody else might have a job, or you might learn something about some business or somebody else or whatever. You got to elevate your mind a little bit, and you're not going to do that by hanging with people with low vibrations. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I call them low frequency niggas.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, I'm not on that wave, bro. I'm on a whole different wave, man.
Absolutely, man. People always mugging, don't never have a smile on their face. I'm happy, man. I'm happy with my life. I'm happy the way things is going, man. Like, I ain't mad at nobody. I ain't mad at nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm only out here. I'm only trying to win, man. So I don't want to be around nobody that's mad at life and mad at the world and feel like somebody owed them something. I want to stay far away from them people.
Far away.
Man, I could dig it, man. I could dig it. Where we at on this joint? Shit. We had an hour and 36. All right, man, fellas. Y'all got anything else y'all want to chop it up about? I mean, I ain't gotta do nothing.
I mean, shit.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the PDXDOPE live podcast Tuesday Turn Up. Thank you, Jermaine and Jax, for joining me for this little pop-up show. Absolutely. And we'll catch you this Friday, 9 p.m. live. And we out.
I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere. Got something to dance to for players and squares. Drugs and booze we share. The smell of weed, smoke, and sex in the air. Come and play with me if you dare. It's hotter than Hell's Kitchen, women everywhere. We living it up until the clock stop. Rockin' hip hop, we go hard to the last shot. Or my body drop, planted in the box. Alright, let me get something clear up top. We're not here for approval. We're not here to be liked.
This motherfucker moving smooth for a whole damn phone.